For whatever reason in the United States, we typically avoid talking about state governments, local governments, and legislators. And all of our focus goes to Trump or Biden. In my humble opinion, this is one of the biggest things that needs to change before the election in November. If we're looking that way and they're doing shady stuff over here, how are we going to stop them? Not to mention, there's a lot of power in these different positions across the country that are not the President of the United States. This is a list of our representatives and their respective districts across the United States and their contact information. If you don't know who your representative is, first you need to look up your district. You can simply type into Google, what district am I in, and put in your city and state. I know a lot of people feel like they don't know enough about politics to be involved, but it's okay, everyone has to start somewhere. Each state in the United States has 2 senators and equal representation per state. Then we have our representatives that each represent a different district within our state. The number of representatives that are in each state are dictated by how many people live in that state. Senators are there to represent the state as a whole, and representatives are there to represent their districts. Both senators and representatives are in the legislative branch in the United States government. That means they make the rules. But did you know that if you don't like the rules they're making, you can call them and complain about that? And you can even call them and tell them that you're in favor of certain rules that they're making. But if you sit around and do nothing, how can they possibly represent you correctly? If you're planning on voting in November, please take the time from now until then to dig through the different things that are going to be on the ballot and learn about your representatives, because there are some very, very wealthy people that are stimulating their campaigns. And while we may not have the money to have the influence that they have, there are more of us than there are of them. And that's exactly why we the people needs to step up and educate ourselves and others on this year's election.